Good morning, everyone. It's Mary, and it's time for another episode of the Monday Morning Leadership Bite. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving break. And I know for me, that meant watching a lot of football. And if you live near a Big Ten school or an NCAA school, that means you watch a lot of college football, although there was professional football this weekend. And I was no different. I watched them both. And specifically, I was watching two games. One was the Ohio versus Michigan game, go Buckeyes. But because of where I live, I was very interested in Nick Saban's Alabama team in the Iron Bowl against Auburn University. And I specifically called out Nick Saban because watching all the interviews and commentaries from the sports shows were very interesting and very complimentary toward Nick Saban and his legacy. You know, Nick Saban's had a long-term success. At Alabama, his record is 139-20. He has been in 14 bowl appearances, 10 of which have victories, 7 Western Divisional titles, 5 SEC championship, and 5 national championships. So, hey, a successful coach, you want to look at that. Any successful leader we can learn from. And I think there are 3 things that we can learn from Nick Saban's team. Number 1 is help your stars reach the next level. You know, for college football, there's a built-in clock to your players. They're only going to be with you for 2 to 3 years that you'll get to work with them. And then they're either going to graduate or they're going to move on. So you only have a limited amount of time. So develop them so they can move on to the next level, because it's a reflection upon you where they go. But even more importantly than the players are the coaches. The number of assistant coaches that have come and gotten their next assignment, a bigger assignment, by under Nick Saban is pretty phenomenal. And there have been other professional coaches the same way, in which that you learn from that person and they help develop you and take it to the next level. What we can learn from that is, instead of coveting our star talent and keeping our star talent from going somewhere else, instead we will say, hey, let me help you, because there is a natural progression in your career and I want to help you on that trajectory. And be known as a leader that develops people into their next career and not just stifle you. So I think that's one lesson we can learn. Number 2 is the respect we give to others. You know, listening to Nick Saban in some of his talks against competitors, it's always very respectful. He never puts down a team. He never denigrates the team. He never speaks badly about them. He will always say what they're good at, and basically said his team, in order to beat that team, will have to do better. And so he always acknowledges the strengths of the other team, but he also says, in order for us to do what we want to do, because he still wants to win, is we'll have to do better. What are you doing to help your team, acknowledging where they should be better so they can beat the competition, or they can even be a stronger team? So I think that is the second thing we can learn. Number 3 is focusing on an internal scoreboard versus the external scoreboard. Yeah, it's great that he has his huge record in divisional titles, and Alabama's is football dynasty right now. But that is, while you want to contribute to that, that's not your day-to-day goal. And in football, it's very interesting how it is that play that gets you to the end of the quarter. That end of the quarter gets you to the game. And so you see these adjustments that are being made, that a penalty or a mistake or something that didn't occur, they make these adjustments. They move players in and out. And I think as leaders, we've got to learn to be a little bit more fluid that way and provide our folks with some daily contributions that they can do. How do they know if they're winning or losing? How can they control and execute on the day? Provide them with tools and metrics that help them realize what those little things are that get you to the big things, the big annual goals and metrics. So there you go. That's what I learned by watching hours and hours of football this weekend, and I wanted to share it with you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.